When I went to grad school for clinical mental health counseling, the last place that I expected to learn some of the most important and formative theories was the marriage and family class, right? Because I was going to study individuals and to help individual people. And so I didn't really have a lot of care, honestly, for families or couples. And that was until I learned about Murray Bowen's differentiation of self. See, Murray Bowen was a systems thinker. And so what he said was, we can't just look at one thing in isolation because everything exists in this interconnection of relationships. That's the foundation of systems thinking, that we can't go in and change one thing. We need to understand, how does this one item operate in the broader context of a system? And so he looked at how the family system operated, realizing that there were rigid rules which led to people getting scripted into specific roles, like the rebel child, the perfect child, the problem child. And one of the things that Murray Bowen came out with was called the differentiation of self. He said that the goal of the family was to provide a child who became an adult that was differentiated. And he said that differentiation means that I'm able to say both that I'm an individual and I'm a part of the family. These are the two poles that he said every single human being experiences: individuality and togetherness. And you can see this culturally, right? The West has really cultivated this individualistic outlook, and the East is really cultivated in this more collectivistic outlook. And you can see it, and there's huge, distribution in that. But Murray Bowen said that the child is able to develop that when they develop the ability to regulate their own emotions and not be reactively. He said, unfortunately, what usually happens is children are taught to have a huge amount of emotional reactivity. And a great example of this is like the little kid falls down and looks up to their parents, and they're going, how should I respond? And you can see two kind of poles. One parent will be like, you're fine, you're fine, you're fine. And the kid will maybe kind of continue on. Another parent might run the kid and be like, oh no, oh no, oh no. And either way, the child is learning not that they can trust their own experience, but that they are looking to the parent and they're being taught to react based on the parent. So this is teaching this kind of emotional reactivity and volatility. And so what Murray Bowen said was that the key to developing differentiation was learning what now we call to be mindful, to be aware of our emotional experience without reacting to it, without taking on the emotions of others, without just getting kind of infused with however the people around us are feeling. And so I love this framework of individually and togetherness, because he said the goal of the family was help the child to experience and integrate and understand both. Because if they can understand both in the family, then as adults, they'll be able to live from their center rather than polarizing. And so it's a great question for us to ask ourselves. Do I polarize towards either people pleasing and being kind of overly involved in the community and in others and in the sense of everybody else? Or do I polarize towards rebellion? I'm my own person. Nobody can control me. I'm going to do my own thing. Both of these are reactive. One is reactive independence, right? Counterdependence. The other is hyper-dependence, codependence. They're both reactions. And this is what we talk about. Virtue is the middle ground between two opposite vices, one of too much and one of too little. We're looking for that Goldilocks middle ground. How do we find the Goldilocks middle ground? By learning the practice of mindfulness, by learning to pay attention to what's happening inside of us on purpose without judging it and reacting to it, so that consciously, with thoughtful awareness, we can respond from our own center rather than responding based on the reactions of other people around us.